The kick drum is the foundation of a song, it is the energy, and it is the driving force. And today I'm going to show you how I mix kick drum by using acoustic live kicks and kick samples to create a kick sound that is absolutely undeniable. Everyone knows the vocal is important for the song, but there's the kick and then there's the snare. Arguably the two most important things that, like, if you get the drums wrong, you might as well just throw the song away because it's just not gonna connect. The drums are such an emotional, visceral response and reaction to any song, and if you don't mix that right, even if your vocal sounds pretty dang good and you can completely just undermine the impact of your mix and of your song. Today we're gonna be focusing on the kick drum and how that is the foundation. While you're watching the footage of me mixing the kick drum here in this video, it's gonna be evident to you that I'm basically mixing it in solo. And the reason for that is my methodology is, since the kick is the foundation, you lay the foundation first. You don't start building all of these other things on top of, a foundation that hasn't been laid yet. And the kick is that foundation. It is the perfect blend of the low end, the top end, and it gives you the syncopated driving force of the rhythmic elements of a song. So if you get the kick drum first and you just add everything else on top of it as you're mixing, you really can't go wrong. Now, if you do like to mix all faders up and just start moving stuff, you do you. If that works for you, that works for you. I'm just showing you how my approach is, and I like to make sure that my kick from the get-go is basically like 90% where it needs to be. And then usually what happens later is I just add maybe a little bit of harmonic saturation or like a top shelf, or maybe cutting a little bit of low end that gets too tubby once you add the rest of the things in. So I'm gonna be able to show you in the session today how I accomplished that by having a kick in, a kick out, a sub kick, and then I have a kick sample 1 and a kick sample 2. So I have the 3 live mics going to a kick real bus, and then I have the 2 samples going to a kick fake bus, and those 2 are going to a kick master. And I'm going to show you how I build in layers each one of those things to arrive at a kick sound that I feel is appropriate for the song. So without further ado, I'm going to get right into this session and let you guys see what I did. What I'm going to do is I have kick in and kick out. I'm going to do kick real and kick fake. And the samples, sample 1 and 2, are going to be going to kick fake, even though it's not really fake. And then we send kick fake and kick real together to kick master. And you may be asking, why in the world would I be doing this? So yeah, the reason we would have that, because I'm going to want to have independent control over the sample and the actual live kick at certain parts in the song. So this makes this really easy, and it also gives me a good overall image of what things are supposed to be. So I know that as a fader balance, I like this. And I know what I want to do, at least now, is I want to kind of like sculpt these just a tiny bit beforehand, not too much, nothing crazy. There's a weird little thing in here. Yeah, that. I want to get a little bit of the low mid punch out of this. Right about here. This is a place that most people don't like to boost for kick. Shave a little bit of that out. And I'm not really trying to get the top end of this, but that's just disgusting. I wanted this to be a little bit boomy, because I have a kick in, I got samples, I got all this stuff for the top end. I don't need to worry about that. There's a weird little... Let's refocus this. It's all about the curves, man. It's all about the curves. There's also a pretty good amount of low end in this. But there's also something I don't like in here. That's a good place to kind of boost that. That needs to go. I want to reboost it around here. So we got the before, after, much better. Now when we combine these, so I'm going to fader balance this. I'm going to take it all out. Kick in, kick out. I want to get rid of that resonance here in the kick out, actually. Nice. This kick out has all the bleed, so I'm going to deal with that in a second. So now, this is a good fader balance of all three mics, but I really want to start targeting the bleed before I start kind of getting more aggressive with this source. So the kick out, I'm going to go ahead and clear my solo on that and just do kick out. So this is the multi-band expander trick if you know about it. Right about there. Big difference. So this is our kick reel, and I'm going to do just a little bit of clipping on it right now. I'm just building these blocks up. And now I want to get rid of some of the tubbiness that is now a little overbearing now that we've added all the mics together. Yeah, that's just... So we have one sharp cut and then we have one kind of little broader cut here. Got a little bit of this. Add some more. And before I do any more EQ, I kind of want to use a flavor EQ. That Sontec, this will be really good here. I'm going to go ahead and go to the top air band. Nice. Let me see about the mid-range here. That right there. Nice. So if we do before and after of everything we just did. Huge difference. And I'm going to go ahead and shave down on this bleed a little bit more now that we did some clipping. Like, I do this in layers. Look at that. I can kind of do something here in this lower mid-range where it's getting that slosh of the rooms. Make that release pretty fast with the attack. Now we just have a super clean ass kick. So clean. Another thing that's really cool to put on the kick, that this could be a little much, but we'll see. Yeah, it's a bit much. I'm just gonna take that off. That's a nah for me. And before I go any further and start adding in the samples, I'm gonna go ahead and do a little bit of saturation to kind of tame that transient from being a little... And it's just gonna be the top end. Here we go. About there, and more here. Nice. I do want a little bit more saturation, but I don't want this type of saturation. This might be a little bit much, actually. But I'm gonna leave it where it's at, because I think this is a good spot for the real kick. And now I'm just gonna start adding in the samples. So no sample in, fade it in. Nice. I don't even think this needs any EQ to fit in. It's just kind of working. Now we're gonna add the second one in. Nice. Now that I'm listening to this, I think yeah, I need to adjust the low end on the kick reel because it's starting to kind of get in the way. There's a little bit too much there whenever I add the other samples in, and I want more of that consistency of the low end in the samples than anything else. About right here. This is a bit much. So now that when I add nice. I like that. And now I'm going to use this, the kick fake to get the top end that I really want. But get rid of this. I'm going to adjust the low end later. I hate this. This is nasty. Give that there. Yeah. That's the knock that I want. So now I'm going to go to the kick master after I've adjusted the EQ there. Do a little bit more clipping, just a tiny bit. Again, we're building layers here. This whole mid-range, we're gonna attack this pretty hard. Oh yeah, before. That's just so smooth. It's just shaving it down in like really nice way. For the most part, I think this is kind of sitting in the place I want it to. I'm gonna do a little bit of more saturation in the top end here. I'm gonna get rid of all saturation here gonna blend this in a little bit. Nice. This kick needs some more top end. Oh yeah. That's what we needed. My favorite, best EQ plugin on the planet because it's so good. There we go. Put a little bit more punch here around the 120. Yeah, I think I like 170 better. Yeah, I think this is a really good spot for the kick. I'm really digging that. I really feel like this is a good balanced example of an organic kick and a really, aggressive modern kick. You get the best of both worlds. It feels like somebody actually played it because they did. And then you get the samples that aren't completely overshadowing the sonic integrity of the original drum performance. They are actually true supplements to what is already there. And I can make a video about sample choice and how important that is when you're choosing samples to reinforce the drum sound that already exists without completely overriding the sonic signature of the person you hired to play, but that's another video. And I feel that this particular example in this session highlights that really well to where, I was able to accomplish that well with the drummer that I was working with, whose name is Siras Vaziri. He absolutely killed this session. But yeah, I think that this was a really good way to showcase how I mold the different kick mics together to get them to work and gel in harmony. Hopefully you're able to pick up a couple things from, watching how I approach mixing a kick drum in this scenario to be able to apply to your own things. And, let me know what you do. Like, what's a cool thing that you do whenever you're mixing kick drum or that, sounds interesting to you. Comment that down below. I'd love to see and hear what everyone else's processes are. But this is just an inside look at how I process sound in real time and how I'm making decisions in real time to basically solve a problem and get something that I hear in my head out of my speakers. So, thanks. Peace.